So I'm thinking about Ricky Gervais. I think he's one of the best comedians of our age, which is saying a lot because there are some really great minds, really great talents working out there right now. But he was on my mind, and I was thinking about how before Mark Manson, he was out there practicing the subtle art of not giving a fuck, and how he gets away with so much, and I'm so glad he does because he brings a lot. He's really just a comedic genius, and I've watched him host the Golden Globes, and I see he's ready to take on a fight. He doesn't shrink from things, and I think that's why he gets away with what he does. He's just unapologetic. He has the courage of his convictions, and that's something I'm working to develop in myself and encourage in others because we don't have to agree to get along. We don't have to go along to get along. We can actually have our own views. That's the beauty of living in a free society, is that we're not going to be arrested for writing or saying something, and we forget that's really what was at stake before somebody declared that we have a right to free speech. And it will offend us sometimes, but in offense, we sometimes find truth as well. And if we are strong enough to receive that and strong enough to stand by it, we collectively can, I'm sure, we can dispel so much of the nonsense, because I myself have taken that position a few times where everybody's going, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm like, really? No, everybody's sort of, it's a record scratch. Like, what? And I say my piece, and a few people obviously are like, oh, you're just wrong, right? And other people will be like, what did she just say? They're just kind of stunned and caught off guard. But there's almost always one or two people in there who are like, oh, yeah. And because one or two other people jump in, now the people in the middle who are like, huh? They're like, oh, well, maybe. And they start to soften a little. And the people who were so sure, they may not let on, but they kind of go quiet and listen because now they're questioning. And I said it elsewhere that the idea is just to create a crack and let the light in. And if we're all doing that, all those points of light are going to illuminate so much more truth than we have access to right now. And another thing about Ricky Gervais is he does it with humor and a good heart. You have to be coming from the right place in your heart. He's not trying to hurt or offend anybody. He's just not going to pull any punches in case he does. And if he does land a punch and somebody's reeling, he's not going to go and kiss their bottom and try to make it okay. He's going to say, well, you stepped into the ring with me. This is what happens. And he just will not shrink from it. I don't think I have quite as strong a combative urge as he does. He seems to delight in it a little more than I do. But I don't care how you get there. I think practicing that that approach, that saying, no, I'm solid in my convictions. I know for me right now that this is where I am and how I see it. You want to move me with good arguments, move me with new information, move me with an appeal to a sentiment I'd overlooked, right? But come and do your part, fight your corner too. We're adults here, and we've been infantilized, and we infantilize each other by being so afraid of giving any offense or challenging anybody or calling anyone to account. And I really would much rather just be, frolicking in the woods or enjoying a quiet day by the waterside. But I'm not going to shrink from what is necessary. I still value what's necessary, and I do feel it's necessary that we get clear with ourselves about who we are and our place in the world and the path we're following and why we're doing it and what we really see and experience along the way. Say it, tell it like it is, and maybe that's part of bringing back masculinity in the way that a man should be able to stand up and take a position and fight his corner, but also for women to be able to be in accord with ourselves, to feel that deeper intuitive sense that we are true and we are on a good path. And that would probably relieve some of the anxiety and stress that women feel. We feel driven to move in so many directions that we're falling into some sort of overwhelm and helplessness and in some cases psychosis, frankly. It's a lot of what I see from the more extreme and sensationalized camps is psychotic. It's not right. It's not functionally good for anyone ultimately. And again, I'm not really looking to pick a fight, but I am resolved to stand by what I see and to say it as I see it with compassion, with respect. Again, not trying to pick a fight here, but I am trying to call out the fact that the Emperor does not have new clothes. Yeah? So, alright, here's to us finding and applying the courage of our convictions toward revealing the truths that will make us healthy and sane and united again. Yeah? Love to see us get around that. Okay. Well, thank you again. I look forward to seeing you in the next round. Take care.